Mahadev, uh, in this short video, I want to talk about something uh, about what's been happening in the past, what's going on in the present, and what's most likely to happen in the future as I see it, on not only the world stage but also in the society that we live in our own families, and within ourselves. Some something drastically something some drastic change is happening. I think everybody can sense that. I'm not the only one. And it's been going on for quite a few years. Coronavirus maybe coming in was the start of that. Then lockdown and economic slowdown, people locked inside their homes and spending a lot of time alone. And during that lockdown period, social media really exploded. And we thought that when we all came out of lockdown, we thought that, okay, that's that. Now we'll get back to normal. And we thought we were getting back to normal, but I don't think that's happening as things stand right now, with the USA, Israel, and Iran engaged in warfare. And yeah, the Epstein files and similar things happening. It's like a full blown chaos is just beginning to erupt. Yes, that's my assessment, that this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of a great eruption, a great disruption, which will lead eventually to the great reset. Being a student of history during my university days, uh, and also being a very avid reader of a student of history, this is something that has happened again and again in the history of human civilization. Maybe every 200 years or 400 years or 600 years. Small change keeps on happening regularly every few years, then bigger change happen over a different time frame, a longer time gap. Yeah, and this is what is happening. This is maybe happening. This reset is happening in this manner, maybe after the Industrial Revolution. That was the last great reset that happened. The Industrial Revolution, which absolutely changed the face of the planet, and the whole of the civilized and uncivilized world. And so we are in for a big change. For most people, it will be catastrophic. It will be destructive. It will be disorientative. A lot of people will, you know, um, what I see is that societies will change and a lot of destruction all around will happen. There is a very close friend of mine who's been my friend for 25 years. Yeah. So I've been telling him for almost the last 10 years that you wait and watch what's going to happen. The third eye of Bholenath is opening slowly, slowly, and it's going to destroy. It's going to destroy all the existing setups, institutions, ways of life, uh, ways of thinking, patterns of behavior, everything. All comfort zones, big and small, from the microcosm to the macrocosm of the human world will change, will collapse. Everything will collapse, and then a new beginning will, happen. We will be ushered into a new era of humanity. Nobody knows how long before that happens and what will be the shape of things to come. I don't think anybody got any clue about that. Everybody is just scared, holding on tight to what they have, holding on tight to their belief systems, holding on tight to their ideologies, holding on tight to their identities. We all have our individual identities which we hold on to because there is nothing more precious to any individual than his own identity. And then we have family identities. It's like a series of concentric circles gradually expanding outwards. At the center, we have, each one of us has the individual identity. But that identity is mostly based on ignorance, mostly based on conditioning, mostly based on brainwashing. Ideally, that identity, that individual identity, should be based on consciousness. Aham, I. But very few men and women are actually aware of that aham. The same aham which is there in the short phrase aham brahmasmi, the same aham. Then there is but mostly we I mean, that's why self knowledge is considered the highest form of knowledge. That aham can only awaken in very few people by its very definition, and most people live deluded lives thinking that they know what they are doing, but actually they have no clue as to whatever they are doing, why they are alive, they have no purpose in life. Then, outside that sphere, outside that point of self identity, there is a circle which is family identity, then you have the society identity, and so on, national identity, regional identity, so many identities. We are all, most of us don't even know what is the difference between an individual identity and national identity sometimes. Yeah. Race, yeah, of course, racial identity, everything is going to change. It's like the great reset which is staring us right in the face. And all the hell is breaking loose. And what I see is that it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. No escaping that. Nobody on this planet, man, woman, child, old man, nobody can escape this. We are all governed by laws of nature. Nature rules us all. And who rules nature? Bholenath. So, through all this, I think that our only asset, our really greatest asset, is clarity of thought, purposeful action, and control over this tongue. So essentially, it's about, this thing. How much of this is really under your control? All that inside stuff. This is our greatest asset, our greatest ally, our greatest friend, and the biggest enemy, the biggest opponent, the biggest liability is right here, our own minds. Well, clarity of thought, I reckon it awakens in degrees and degrees and degrees. Purposeful action. Yes, that cannot happen without clarity of thought and strong intent. Not intention, but intent. You might have a lot of material assets, money, status, power, whatever, youth. But if you don't have clarity of thought, clarity of purpose, and ability to act with purpose, intent, then you are going to lose all the material assets that you have. Nothing can save you. Through this great reset that is happening, you lose everything. A lot of people are going to lose everything. And if you don't have anything, in terms of material assets, but somehow the clarity of thought, strong intent, and ability to act purposefully has kind of awakened inside you. Your mind has been purified. Then, even if you don't have much material assets, you can accumulate whatever you want, wealth and status and power, and you know all that is nothing, really nothing. It's petty stuff. What matters most is a purified intellect. That is your greatest friend, your biggest asset, your really strongest ally. And if you don't have that, then nothing can save you. Having said all this, I think it is now in this era of global crisis that we have entered. Actually, we entered this with the COVID breakout. I remember there was this. I think it was a solar eclipse just before the COVID breakout, and December, I think, 2019. That eclipse was a long one. It lasted for about 3.5 hours. And I was there at Manikarnika Ghat in Varanasi. And I was meditating for the duration of the eclipse. Started before that and ended afterwards. So I was there sitting and meditating at the Manikarnika Ghat, surrounded by burning corpses for about 5 hours. And I saw many things. It's like, somebody was talking to me for many minutes, not all for 5 hours. It's like a voice was speaking to me, coming and going, and then again. So I believe that was obviously Mahakal. Who else? So what I'm talking about in this video, all that I have said is mostly based on that. But having said all this, I reckon that it is now that wearing Rudraksha is the most important thing that any human being, any adult human being can do. There is nothing more important to encounter, to go through this long period of crisis that is staring at us right in the face. I think wearing the right Rudraksha is critically important now more than ever. And most people don't need to wear whole kantha malas and all that stuff. Like for many years, I wore a lot of kantha malas 24/7, and you have seen all that, videos and pictures of that earlier in this group. Now I wear these 4 beads of 14 mukhi 24/7, and that's it. My kantha malas and all I wear mostly when I'm doing mantra upasana. So that's rather infrequent. Sometimes I even, I do mantra upasana daily, but I don't wear all my kantha malas daily. So I have taken them off and I have put them in my deep freezer to store them. So, but these 4 beads I wear 24/7. And for most people, I'd say wearing just 1 bead is enough. 1 bead. Now, which bead that is going to be best suited for the person, that obviously will be different for different people. And one bead or three beads like this one, or like one bead like this single, and sometimes one bead like this plus a Gauri Shankar. That's it. So it is deciding that is based on calculations, and which I do via numerology, and other things are also considered. They are also very important, like what the problems one is facing presently, and where does one want to go, and what are one's strongest fears, and what are one's strongest desires, and all that. But yes, I mean, wearing even one bead of Rudraksha, that is more important than ever now. And I hope that as many people, you know, understand this, the better for them. Har Har Mahadev.